Take.
You got it.
So now I don't know where all the people. Okay, I'm gonna let them in. And then somebody else can control letting people in, okay?
Okay. All right, Lindsay, it's all you.
Look at all these wonderful people coming in this evening. Hey, you guys. Hey, Andrea.
Hey.
Long time no see.
I know, I missed you guys.
It's been crazy. Just crazy.
Jerry.
Howdy, howdy. We have the Kaisers. They just got back from a big trip in Michigan.
Down and start as we ready. On you to record it. I don't know why. Wonder why they're
Sarah, do you have sound now? Cool. Well, I always get worried that I sent out the wrong Zoom link because I've done that before. And it's like I'm waiting and waiting. And it's like, where is everybody? It's like, so hopefully I did it right this time. I'm going to admit these other people. And then Lindsay, if you can just kind of keep an eye on that, that would be great. Sweet. Well, welcome everybody. Happy, it's not the end of summer, but it's towards beginning of the end of the summer. So that's kind of cool. I'm so happy to see so many new faces that I haven't seen in a long, long time. You know, this whole COVID thing's been a crazy thing. And, you know, we're very excited to be doing the Phoenix Summit Challenge moving forward. So I want to be very respectful of our time. So can everybody hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Okay. Perfect.
Jerry?
Yeah. Debbie, go ahead.
Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay,
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If everybody could keep their Zoom link on mute, there's going to be plenty of time to ask questions and so forth. Then we'll be able to go forward without a lot of disruption and so forth. I know I've got 3 dogs and they always bark at the wrong time and all that great stuff. So welcome once again. I thought what we would do is go around and kind of introduce ourselves to get started. Yeah, I think she needed to go out and come back in. We're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Jerry Kettlehut, and I'm the executive director for Daring Adventures, and we were the adaptive rec program with the city of Phoenix, and this is one of the events that we actually head up for them. So I'm really kind of excited about that. What we're going to do is a little icebreaker since we have okay, who has a doggy? I want to see the doggy. We're going to go ahead and do a little icebreaker since we have a smaller group. And if you can just introduce yourself and then tell us what your favorite food is. Again, my name is Jerry, and my favorite food is Mexican food. And then you get to select the next person to go. So I'm going to say Lori Singer.
My name is Lori, and I like all kinds of Asian food.
Cool.
We'll go with Jamie.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I love Thai food and popcorn.
Who do you want to select, Jamie?
Justin.
I'm Justin. My favorite food is Italian food.
Cool.
And who do you want to go next, Justin?
I'll go next.
Okay, Tom.
Hey there. Oh, he thought that was the front door. My name is Tom Kaiser. I'm Justin's dad sometimes. And my favorite food is free food.
I love that.
I will pick Sarah.
Okay, my name is Sarah, and one of the things that I really like is a big salad with different veggies in it,
Tasty.
especially on a hot day like this.
There you go. And who do you want to go next? Sarah. Sarah, pick somebody to go next.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who we have here. How about that lady with the glasses?
Is that me? That lady with the glasses, Andrea?
Well, I guess we could pick you.
Okay. I'm Andrea. Favorite food. My favorite food, I like all types of food, but I am a plant-based food eater. So anything plant-based and non-dairy is it for me.
Okay.
Burn.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta pick somebody. Sorry. I'll pick Lori. Lori and friend.
Lori Silverberg.
I'll pick Lynn.
Okay.
Silverberg.
Your name.
I'm Mariah.
I'm
and
Lori.
I like Chinese food, pizza and ice cream.
Oh, and then you
And
gotta
who do you-
pick somebody.
Who do I
How
pick?
about, is it Jocelyn?
Jocelyn?
Laura, it's Laura. Laura. I'm using Jocelyn's computer. It's a lot easier for me to say what food I don't like, but one of the foods I love is seafood.
Oh, that's a good one, Laura.
I'll pick Debbie.
Debbie.
Okay, I'm Debbie Chatfield. I think my favorite food, I don't know. There's several. I love Mexican also, but I love spaghetti too. So, Eric.
Oh, Lori just went. So who did we get? Danielle.
Oh, did you hear me say Eric? Oh,
Yeah,
is that
Lauren.
the same one?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Laura
Okay.
just went. Okay,
Hi, we're
Danielle.
Danielle and Richard. I love chocolate, like chocolate cake preferably. So now, if we're gonna be honest, it doesn't have to be healthy, right? Something I love to eat.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'll second that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with chocolate.
And I think we have Lindsay is the last one. So Lindsay.
Hello, my name is Lindsay. My current favorite food, it changes a lot, but currently it's acai bowls. So
What is it?
acai bowls.
And I don't know what that is.
It's a bowl that it's got fruits and some berries in there. Granola, I think, is in there.
Cool.
You can have lots of different types in there. as well.
I thought you said you like to eat Legos.
That was my last current favorite food.
Mine too. One of my favorites, Legos in the morning.
Yeah, there you go.
With some
It's always
maple-
challenging. Exactly. It's always challenging with Zoom, if I heard it correctly or not. Well, the reason why that was like our icebreaker, because I think they're going to have all of those things at the U Rock Festival this year. and those food trucks. So be thinking about that. We'll be talking more about the U-Rock Festival. But I've got a PowerPoint. We've got a PowerPoint put together. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up right now. And then, like I said, there's going to be
Are
ample
you gonna
time.
put us on mute?
Pardon me, Sarah?
Are we gonna be placed on mute?
So keep it on mute unless you have a question, okay? But like I said, we'll have a lot of time for questions at the end, but if something is just coming out, you know, on a slide that you want to ask a question, most definitely ask it. So I'm going to just get this from the beginning. So this year, you know, the Phoenix Summit Challenge 2021 is going to be in person. And we did not have that last year because of COVID. So this is, I think, a wonderful thing that we're able to do this year. But I want to put a disclaimer out there because everything is really dependent on, you know, the COVID-19. As it stands now, you know, the city is still feeling that we're going to put this event on, and there's a lot of planning that goes into it. So that's why we're moving forward, because it's much easier, you know, to cancel at the end, and hopefully that's not going to happen, but then it is to start it, you know, a week before the event. So with that said, another big addition this year is that we're going to be collaborating with Ability360 and doing this event. And a raise of hands of who knows about Ability360. Some people do, some people don't. So we have Lindsay and Laura is here. Lori is from Ability360, and I'm going to let her introduce Lindsay because they're actually working together. But Lori, if you can introduce yourself of what you do at Ability360, because she's going to be, her and I are really hosting, you know, this activity together.
Well, I'm glad to be here all. This is my first big adventure with Daring Adventures and Ability360. My name is Lori Singer. I am the program manager of Rec Therapy. I actually just relocated to Arizona from Vermont in January. So this is new and exciting for me. Heard all kinds of wonderful things about the programs and about everyone involved. And Lindsay just started on Saturday. She is a new intern. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay. Like Lori had said, I am the recreational therapy intern for this fall, directly under Lori. I am from Chicago, actually. I just got here Friday, and so threw me right in on Saturday. Got to know everyone and everything. So I'm really excited for this event, and I'm really happy to be here.
Cool. So you guys will be seeing a lot of us three, you know, as we go forward with this event. But it's really, I'm looking forward to both you guys helping out. So it's exciting. So the details. So the presentation today is going to take us through what the event is about. I know some of you guys have done it in the past, and it's brand new to some of you. But the event is going to be held on November 20th. And what is it? It's one day of hiking all around the valley. And there's approximately 1,200 people that participate that day. And this is a huge event that the city puts on, City of Phoenix puts on. And there's some people that hike 7 summits, or those summits, 7 mountains, you know, within one day. But our organizations are heading up 2 of the groups. It's the All Abilities group, where we'll do 4 accessible trails. And then we head up the Phoenix 4, where we'll actually summit 4 of the mountains. So the picture there, this is a couple years ago, that group there, I think that's down at Hobart in South Mountain. They summited that. The cost for All Abilities is $65, and for the Phoenix 4 is $95. And that actually goes directly to the city of Phoenix, and it's to pay for, you know, the t-shirts and or your t-shirt, the dinner coupon, and so forth for the event. The start time, it's going to start at 7 o'clock and it ends around 4 p.m. down at South Mountain. whenever you get done with, doing your trails. COVID-19, we're going to be following the CDC protocol where appropriate. We're going to maintain social distancing where we can, on the trails. Typically we go as a group. Both of those groups, will hike the trails together, but we'll do a little bit more social distancing this year. And then in all vehicles, we are going to require that masks are mandated for all the carpools and our vans and so forth, just for protection of everybody. The trails that we're going to be doing, the All Ability trails, it's about 10 miles. We're going to be doing, and these are the order that they'll be hiked in that day as well. We're going to be doing the North Mountain Park Trail 100 and then Trail 101. The Phoenix Snow and Preserve up at the Apache Wash will be doing the Sidewinder Trail. And then Deems Hill, it's at the Deems Hill Recreation Area, that's in North Phoenix as well. And then at South Mountain, the Judith Tunnel will be starting at the trailhead with Hobart. And then the Phoenix 4, we're going to be doing the Ridgeback Trail at Apache Wash, Shaw Butte Mountain at North Mountain Park, Deems Hill, and then at South Mountain, we'll be doing the Holbert Trail as well. I've got maps that I wanted to share of the 4 accessible trails. So this is Trail 100 at North Mountain. And you can see it starts right there at the trailhead, the TH. Then it goes down Trail 100. And for those of you who've been there, there's a little bench right there. And then we go up to up Trail 101 to the Saddleback. So for this event, it's really from the trailhead over to the bench. And then it's really extra credit if you want to go up to the saddle, kind of at the top of the mountain right there. I think the last time we did this, nobody did that extra credit going up. Everybody just stayed at the bench and then we kind of went back. So again, it's kind of dependent upon, the group of who would like to do that extra, or just say, okay, we did it, and then go back. Deems Hill Park. This is again in North Phoenix, about 50th Avenue and north of Happy Valley Road. And we start just off the parking lot there. And there's a service road that goes down into this housing development. And it's a great accessible trail, that we can use our safari chairs for, and walkers and so forth. And that one's about 2.2 miles round trip. And then we have the Apache Wash Trailhead. This is probably my favorite one. We just added this one. We used to do the Apache Wash, which stayed down below and went through all these washes. And 2 years ago, we decided to do the Sidewinder Trail. And for those of you that remember Brenna, actually, she found this trail by mistake on her safari chair, and she loved it. And so we went out and tested it, and it's really kind of a cool trail. We actually go clockwise, start out at Ocotillo, and then come up here to the Sidewinder, and then come around the mountain. And then about right in here, it's kind of downhill all the way, back to the trailhead. So that's a pretty cool trail, and it's 1.93 miles, but spectacular views all around that mountain. And again, it's very accessible with our safari chairs and walkers if needed. And then the last trail that we do for the accessible is the Judith Tunnel, and this is down at South Mountain Park. We start out at the Holbert Trailhead, and then we go west, on the road, or it's Box Canyon Trail that's right there. And it's kind of it's very interesting. It's pretty rocky right in there, but it's very challenging for people to get through. And then once we get over to the Judith Tunnel, this is actually a fully accessible trail that's concrete. We take that back, and the whole loop on the whole thing is 3 miles total. After it circles the South Mountain Visitor Center, And I want to say that 2 years ago it was open, so some people got to go through that at the end and see what that's all about. But then it ends up back at the Hobart Trail, and that's exactly where the Year Rock Festival starts, is right there. So it really puts us in a great position. So those are the 4 trails that we're going to be doing for the accessible individuals. So for transportation, we don't provide transportation for the practice hikes, but we do assist with developing carpools, for those. And then the day of the event, we'll have our van and picking up people as needed and so forth and helping them from trailhead to trailhead. So I want to say logistically, probably the transportation is the biggest thing. It's not necessarily hiking, but transporting, our group of 40 to 50 people, from trailhead to trailhead is a feat in itself, but it always works out somehow. And so for those that volunteer, some people step up and say, I can take 2 or 3 people in my car, and it's all coordinated. And like I said earlier, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, when you're done, can you say the 4 again? I got for the other 4 ones, can you just describe this a tiny bit?
For the accessible trip. Oh, and so everybody is going to be getting a copy. When you register, you're going to be getting a copy of the orientation, which is pretty much this whole presentation, that everything's going to be listed out. So you don't necessarily need to take notes unless you want to. But we'll have all that. I'll be able to email all of this information for you. So again, the transportation, really depending upon what group you're with is how you're going to be paired up for the actual trails. And then the day of the event, the Phoenix 4 will be doing their whole thing, and we won't meet up again until the end of the event at the Year Rock Festival, because they'll be doing different trails than what we'll be doing on the accessible group. And then what do you bring the day of the event? And it's not just the day of the event, it's also during the practice hikes. Again, depending upon which trail, you'll either want some aggressive hiking boots or, some trail shoes, and all of the equipment that we talk about. Daring Adventures has equipment that, we can loan out. But one of the big things is, you don't want to wear socks that are 100% cotton. And you want something, that's wool. It really absorbs everything, cushiony, plenty of water. It's best if you start out with 2 water bottles, and then we'll have containers to fill up with water as well. And then the city will at the trailheads and so forth. Energy snacks, if you're a snacker like I am, you'll want to put some snacks, in your day pack. Hats and sunglasses, and then sunscreen, lip balm, and then a day pack. And then you want to dress in layers. It's going to be cooler typically in the morning. This is an event if it's rain or shine. You may want to bring an umbrella if it's going to be raining or whatnot, but we don't cancel it. It goes on as planned. And then for lunchtime, you'll either want to bring a sack lunch, and once we get closer to the event date, we'll be coordinating this whole thing. But sometimes, I think last year we all met up at Telephone Pioneer and had a picnic, and that worked out great. And then we went on and finished the hikes. Some people like to stop at fast food places, and then I think a couple people like to stop for pizza at 7th Street and Thunderbird, at Aiello's. So it's really anybody's pleasure. But again, we'll be coordinating that, as we go forward. You'll want to bring medications if you need anything for the day, and then a fresh pair of socks after you're done hiking, and then if you want to get out of your shoes. So Sarah, are you still able to demonstrate your day pack?
Sure am.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And if you can raise your hand so everybody can see you.
Okay.
There you are. Sarah is going to kind of show us, how she packs her day pack. She's done this several times. So take it away, Sarah.
Okay, yeah, the first Phoenix Summit Challenge, I was guilty of bringing something that was too big. And so that's when I started, researching and figuring this out. But here what you see is an old camelback mule that I've had for several years. So, and you know what, this is very good.
So Sarah,
So,
what's the
I mean,
thing that you use the most in your pack?
The water.
Okay.
And then, of course, sunscreen.
Do you pack anything else that wasn't on that list?
Yes, I do. I actually pack not trying to sound embarrassing, but I pack my urology supplies.
Okay.
Because I do have to have that. I'm gonna pack enough for the day.
Very good idea.
Very good. Any other things that you think you want to share with packing?
Well, it's important to have some kind of a headlamp for
That's
at the
true.
end.
Oh,
Might be
like
dark
at the
out.
walk at the party? Does it get dark?
So it does. It does get dark. And for those, I think, Andrea, I don't know if you've ever gotten stuck up at Hobart Trail in pitch black darkness.
I've gotten caught in some darkness in some years, but I think we solved that problem a few years ago, and we haven't had another situation like that. But yes, the headlamp is good for dinner, and if you want to hang out a little bit longer, it does. The sun does drop earlier in November than it does now.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Something
actually,
I
I
would have
think
never thought.
this event's a week later, so it's probably going to even be darker. So that's a
So
very
are we
good one,
having it
Sarah.
on the 20th or the 13th?
It's the 20th.
The 20.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry about that confusion. Okay, thank you, Sarah. I'm going to pull up the presentation.
Hey, Jerry, can I ask a
again.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you guys had any troubles with parking with such like a big group and multiple cars? Because even just on a regular Saturday, without this challenge, there could be, limited parking.
So we do. So again, we are given preferential treatment for parking spaces. So we'll have, I know 2 years ago, we pulled the trailer because we have our safari chairs in it. So this year, one big plus is that we have our van, that will hold 14 people. So that'll be a great thing. And then we'll be able to pull the trailer with our chairs. Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They're not going to be providing rides for the practice height.
What was the question?
No, we
They're
won't.
not going to be providing rides for the practice heights, right?
Correct.
No, we're going to work.
Nope.
Yeah, we'll work through that. We'll work through that, Sarah.
Because see, I can't. Yeah, I don't have access to get to Dean Hills or the Sonoran Preserve.
Right. So those specific things we'll work through individually.
Okay.
But going back to the parking, so we will be given, they'll hold parking spots for us based upon the number of volunteers that we have transporting participants. So, if we have 4 volunteers and we have 4 vehicles, then they'll save 4 spots for us, like right at the trailhead. So that'll all be coordinated. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think there'll be enough volunteers to provide guides?
Oh, most
For blind-
definitely will.
Okay.
Most definitely we'll have a guide. Most
Great.
definitely.
Thanks.
And if you have any preference, we take names as well. So, in fact, I think a little something. My very first year with Daring Adventures, I was actually Deb's guide up on the Hobart Trail.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago. So that was I love that. David,
One
what
of
was
the
that?
things that's nice about the collaboration is that we'll have the Daring Adventure volunteers and the Ability360 volunteers. We do have a couple of volunteers that are really excited that have never been involved before, but once we put it out there, they really want to be involved. So this collaboration is really going to help build that volunteer number.
Definitely. So I was saying earlier, there's a picture of you guys, Tom. Can you see it? We have a lot of equipment, you know, trekking poles, water bottles.
Sorry. Yes, I can see it. I want to know who the handsome guy on the left is.
I know, huh?
That's me from last year.
That was over at Hayden and Scottsdale, that whole stretch along
Yeah.
that corridor.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It wasn't the same though. We really miss the hike and hiking with Sarah and all the people from Daring Adventures and all of the volunteers. It's one of the best events that we've ever done year over year here in Arizona. It's a great one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And we're glad you guys and Daring Adventures and Ability360 are teaming up. So that's awesome.
Cool. We're excited about that too. So we have all this equipment. So you guys, if you don't have something that you need, don't go out and buy it unless you're going to continue to use it. If you need something, you just need to let us know what it is so we can provide it for you. And then again, you know, some people, they may not need it for the practice hike, but they only need it for the day of the event. We'll be asking you that, you know, if you want to hold on to it the whole time or huh. So it's not advancing down.
See that?
I'm gonna open it back up again and see.
Oh.
Well, it's smarter than me. I'm gonna try it another way quick. Okay, the bag pickup. So on November 13th, there's going to be a bag pickup, and this is your swag bag. This is your t-shirt, your tokens for your dinner, your beverages, your dessert, and then anything else that, you know, other organizations put in there, flyers of other events, or, you know, at times Bashes has put things into it and so forth. One of the things that we do is, since we're going as a group, is we'll pick up all the swag bags, and we'll have those the day of the event for each of you guys. It just makes it a whole lot easier to get them all at once and then distribute them on the day of. However, if you want to participate in that event, you're more than welcome to, just by going. It's at Longview Community Center, which is on 14th Street in Indian School. And it's a really kind of a cool event. It gets, I don't know how big it will be this year, but usually they have different vendors out there, and just to participate in, you know, all the other people attending as well is kind of fun. But you don't need to be worried about picking up your bag. We'll be picking that up. Daring Adventures and Ability360 is going to have a booth that day out there if anybody's interested in working that, you know, whether it's a participant or volunteer. That's always kind of fun too. It's an event actually that we get volunteers from that, you know, end up volunteering for us somehow, and they can kind of see the great things that we do. The U-Rock Festival. So at the very end of the event, they have this, what's called the U-Rock Festival down there at South Mountain Park. And it's really to celebrate, you know, our huge accomplishment for the day. And I know after my body hiking 10 miles, it likes to sit down and rest a little bit. So I look forward to that. it's a lot of fun. You know, they have entertainment, they have different exhibits and vendors and so forth. In the past, they've had, you know, people doing massages, and it's not like the hour massage or anything like that. It's just like a 10-minute, you know, neck massage. I know REI has been there in the past, you know, as a vendor. I'm not sure if they'll be there this year or not.
They will
And
be.
then, oh, good.
Yeah.
Dinner is going to be your choice from, they have all these food trucks set up that you can select from, you know, Philly cheesesteaks or vegan meals. Churn ice cream used to be there at one time. There was a cupcake lady that was there once. And it's not that I like just sweets, but I do notice all those, so they're good. And then in your fee that you pay for, you know, that's included in that fee. And if you, some people like to have their family come down and celebrate as well, so you can buy extra dinner tokens prior and have guests join you. And then they have cold beer. You do have to bring your ID, and you can purchase those things at the event. So registration is now open. I'm going to put in chat, or you know what, Lori, can you put into chat that link on your email? So what we like to do is for people to go through the orientation first before we open up the registration, because there's a lot of work that goes into this. And what has happened in the past, I mean, it's been several years that we've been doing it this way, is people will sign up and then we go to collect their fee and so forth, and they say, oh, I didn't know I needed to pay, or I really don't want to go. And the city holds these slots for us, and you know, they really try to help us out. But so we like the people to go through registration or the orientation first before they really decide if they want to participate in the event, whether as a participant or a volunteer to assist. But now that registration is here today, we've opened
Okay,
up
I'm trying to write
link
this
to
down.
register. Yeah. So Lori is going to put into the chat the link that you can go in and sign up. One of the things
Very
is,
lucky.
what is our theme? It's like we want to come up with a theme. So many years ago, the city of Phoenix, they used to have a contest of, you know, the funniest costume, you know, all of this stuff. And then they dropped it like after year 2. And I said, oh, we can't drop it. I mean, that was a big hit for our whole group, is to dress up crazy. And then we get all these applauds and so forth on the trails. So we need to, I think tonight, to be thinking about some themes that we can kind of vote on over the next few weeks, and then people can start, you know, gathering their costumes. I know in the past we've had, I think actually the last 2 years ago was Under the Sea was the theme. So we had all these fishes and things like that. And in the past we've had Power Rangers, all these different things. So be thinking of what that theme needs to be, and we'll come back at the end after questions and get your ideas for a theme. So the deadline for registration. So you have now until September 7th to really decide if you'd like to participate in it. If you want to participate in it, you go on to that link that is going to be in the chat, and then I can email it out as well and sign up. Once you sign up, I'll be sending out invoices for those payments based upon if you're signing up for the Phoenix 4, the All Abilities. And then we'll send an invoice, you know, via email. Then you can just pay by credit card online. We do have scholarship assistance. If you know somebody that needs scholarship assistance, just ask and I can send you the form to fill that out. And up to 75% of the actual fee can be covered by scholarship by filling out this very simple form. The reason that the deadline is like only 2 weeks away is the city of Phoenix has to order the t-shirts and everything. And we have to get them the list to them, I think, by the 9th of what type sizes of shirts and so forth are needed. And then the day of the event, we would love for you to share your pictures and videos, you know, on social media. And there'll be some more of these being added, but it's hashtag Daring Adventures or hashtag our Everest. We'll have some for Ability360 as well. And also the city of Phoenix, I'll have a hashtag. And we'll get those to you well in advance of the day of. And then the adventures must go on. So this is our group. I think this is a practice hike because none of us are in costume. So it had to have been a practice hike. And I think that was over by North Mountain because I see the point in the back. So pretty cool. Questions?
I need the link.
Okay, I'll
It's in the
email it
chat
to you,
there.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna email it to me right away?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's also in the chat also if you can pull it off of chat, but I can email it to you.
Yeah, but I didn't have enough time to put it down.
Sarah, if you go down to the bottom of your screen, there's a little talk bubble and it says chat. And if you click on that, it'll be able to, you'll have the link in there for the registration.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
We are very lucky with this, Jerry, because I know that this.
Oh, come on. All right, there we go. Huh. All
Go
right.
ahead, Deb.
Sorry, we're very lucky because that we get to do this way because to sign up for the Summit Challenge, it closes very quickly.
Yes.
It
You're
fills
absolutely
up
right.
really fast. You can't even get in.
So it goes out to the public right after I give it to the city, and it books up like in 2 days.
Yeah.
So Tom has a question for the event. Can we bring a well-behaved dog on a leash? You know, I'm going to have to ask the city, Tom. I need to ask them because it's their decision. I don't know what their rules are, but I'll ask that question.
Yeah, thanks. I wasn't thinking about every hike, but you know, we'll have a dog at home and you know, if we could bring them on one and get them an exercise and stick them back at home between one of the hikes, that would be great. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we'll find out. And then there was a question. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm guessing the city's the same way. Unless it is a service dog for an event this large, Ability360 does not allow dogs. And I'm guessing the city's probably the same way.
Historically, that's been their stance because I know we had
Yeah.
into it previously, but
Yeah, I have another question. If it's okay if I ask?
Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
Okay, now like at Ability360, is there gonna be like some training for with inside the facility
You know,
with
we
volunteers?
can look into that. We can check into that.
Yeah, because I think that would help get people ready.
I think I like that idea, Sarah. I'm going to pitch it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a great idea. And then there was a question in chat about the practice hikes. I really didn't talk about that. But the practice hikes, they're going to be on Saturdays. We tried a few years ago doing them, you know, during the week, and it just did not work out. We got very little participation. And so 2 years ago, we moved back to Saturdays, and we're going to do it again on Saturdays. But the dates that we have down, and all this will be in your orientation packet that I'll email. For the all the hikes, it's October 9th at Deems Hill, October 16th at North Mountain, and then November 6th at Apache Wash. So if you're doing the all abilities, there's only going to be 3 practice hikes. We really don't need to go down and do Judith Tunnel unless there's a great desire to do so. We could do that on November 13th. For the Phoenix
Like
4,
I said, I don't have a car, so.
well, Sarah, we'll work with you on that.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool.
yeah, we'll work with you on figuring that out and carpooling. And then the Phoenix 4, it's those same dates. They'll start out at Apache Wash on the 9th, the 16th is Shaw Butte, the 6th is Deems Hill, and then the 13th is South Mountain, the Hobart Trail. So for the practice hikes, we like to start at 8 o'clock. And usually, we'll be done in probably 2 hours. And usually for those, we meet at the trailhead, or if you have if we're carpooling and so forth, but we usually meet up at the trailhead. Unlike for the day of the hike, we'll meet up normally at the first trailhead, or I think we met out at the park last year, if I can recall, and then we go together. But all that we'll figure out between now and when it starts. And then everybody will be communicated to. Tom, I know you had your hand up, or you like something. What was it? The 8 o'clock?
What was I doing? I may have screwed something up. Sorry.
You looked really happy, and I thought, oh, he likes something, but that's okay.
You raised your hand, Dad. To undo it, you have to hit all control here, hit all control, and then
I was just giving everyone a high five. How's that?
I thought so. You're just waving. Exactly. I love to see education in action. One thing that I just realized, that on the registration form, it's the same form for the participants and the volunteers, but actually I just answered my own question. I did have on there, are you interested in the all abilities of the Phoenix 4? So again, if you're a volunteer and you select that you want the all abilities, then I know what you want to volunteer for. So I answered my own question. Thank you. Anything else? For those of you that have done this in the past, did I leave anything out that we're missing? No? It's going to be, we have a smaller group today. I don't know if this is indicative, just because I know of 2 people that couldn't make it tonight. But I don't know, if it's a COVID situation that people are just leery about participating, or they'll be emailing me. But if you know of people that have done it in the past, if you can communicate to them that the turnaround time is to be in by September 7th to register, that would be great.
I think I just registered, so we'll see.
Did it work?
As far as I can tell, it did. Yeah.
There you go.
Jerry, are you going to post that the sign up for that is coming up on like Instagram, other social media, things like that?
Yeah, I'll do
with
that.
Links for.
I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and probably tomorrow send out a MailChimp that'll go into social media with that link. Cool. Well, you guys, if you don't have any other questions.
Walking, the fur baby's running away.
So what do you think about the Lindsay and the Gibsons of the world thought about the 80s as a dressing option? And I
that's
thought
right.
that would be easy, because a lot of us can just open up our closets and go to the back of the closets and we'll all be ready.
I hear you there, Tom.
Like, maybe involve some tutus and fingerless gloves.
I've got my leather tie somewhere, my skinny leather tie. I can find that.
That would be kind of amazing, like I feel like it could work for sure.
Oh yeah, I most certainly think it could.
So we have the 80s. Is there any other thoughts on themes, or 80s is good?
Jerry and I had talked about more of like a 60s, 70s, a little bit of tie-dye, that kind of thing too is an option.
Oh,
you could make it decades and then it would be any decade.
Oh, I like that idea. How about dress the decade you were born?
How about
Oh
we pick a band or 2 from the 80s and we look like one of the bands, like
You were born in the 80s, man. You were born in the 80s.
That would be funny. So we have the 80s, pick a decade.
Tie Tie-dyed, that'd be fun.
A tie-dye?
With rainbows.
Rainbows.
Tie-dye and rainbows?
Oh, I like it. It's like a multicolor rainbow tie-dye. I like that too.
Yep.
Very all-inclusive too.
For sure.
So I know exactly what I'm gonna wear, but I don't know if I can fit in them. I'll have to, I have a couple months yet, so.
I got a couple of good tutus for that one.
I know. Cool. Does everybody want to do tie-dye? Does that feel good?
No, I was thinking more like an
Yeah.
80s theme.
Oh, I love you, Sarah.
So yeah,
I think you have to do a roll. Jerry, executive decision. I think you have to do a roll call.
You could make it an 80s tie-dye.
So why don't we do this? So the participants, because we don't have to decide today. So once the participants, let's say after the 7th, we'll still collect themes and then we'll send out a thing that people can vote on. That sound good?
Okay.
Because some people might be afraid to speak up or you never know. So I just want to make sure. So we have an 80s, we have a tie-dye.
I'm not sure
decade.
tie-dye goes with my skin color.
You had a rainbow one.
A rainbow, a decade. Any others?
Top chef for you, Jerry.
A chef? Yeah.
Top chef for you.
We could all,
Cooking
we
shows.
could all dress like Julia Childs. That would be a good one. All these Julia Childs hiking. That would be cool.
I'll bring
Exactly. We could do some chopping. Oh, too funny.
Justin,
Okay,
what do
well-
you think? You have any ideas, Justin?
We could do like an 80s rock theme.
Ah, that's my.
Oh, that's cool.
I think the apron thing is kind of fun because you can always buy really, really cool aprons, like fun aprons, like you said.
Or we could add musical instruments to the 80s rock theme and be playing music on the trail and entertain everybody.
I like that.
I know.
Tambourines,
Singers, we could
recorders.
sing. Exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say I could do the recorder at best, or some clicking some sticks, but that's about it.
So in Vermont, there's actually a ukulele group that
Ah.
hikes and plays ukulele. So we may want to see if we can find one here. It was actually back in 1930 something, the first woman to hike the Long Trail, which is top from Canada down to the Vermont border, did it with a ukulele. And since then, there's now this ukulele group that does it in honor of her. All summer long, they like hike the Long Trail with ukuleles. We'll have to see if we can find a ukulele group that wants to join us.
That's cool.
So that would be cool. So Lori, you're on that project.
I'll call around and see.
Let us know when the
We-
research. Send us the research.
Yeah.
We do have a ukulele in our instrument box. And then we also have a bunch of kazoos. We could have a kazoo band.
I like that because then you could be heard all over. And I like it.
Exactly. We'll make some noise out there.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
My hands will be full, so I won't be able to do that. But yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, you guys, any last questions? Be thinking of those ideas. We have some great juices flowing, so it'll be kind of cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
And I answered a couple questions in the chat. And if you have anything more, you can reach out to both Jerry and myself.
And then Lori, you guys are with Civitan?
Yes.
Lori Silverberg?
Okay.
You're with the Civitan Foundation?
Well, Mariah's a member there.
Yeah.
Cool. So we want to spread the word to Dawn. So I'll get with Dawn to see if we can get some more members, to participate. But that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Go, go, go.
It's a really fun event. It's absolutely a must do. It's a lot of fun. The people have a good time, and they got a lot of food and freebies out there, and people are all having a good time doing their best. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Not to be missed.
We're excited about being a part of it. So thanks for allowing us.
Jerry, how
Yeah,
big
Deb.
are those swag bags? Because like if you get it on that morning, we'll have room in my pack to put it, or I guess I can give it to
It'll
someone.
just stay on the van.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
Sounds
stay
good.
with you until South Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool,
I just
cool,
was wondering
cool.
if I'd have room to squeeze it in my pack or something. So.
Yeah, you don't know what kind of snacks they might pack in there, so we may have to just bring a couple extra packs.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, cool, you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you out all on the trails. I know for one, I don't know if I was talking to Lori, but COVID has really helped me get out of shape. So I'm looking forward to getting back in shape, to do this hiking. So I guess I can still blame it on COVID, but it's easy to do that.
Pretty soon we'll run out of that excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're running out of time.
Exactly.
Hopefully we
Exactly.
get to stop using.
Cool. Well, if you guys have any,
Yeah, I want to participate in as many of the practice hikes as I can.
perfect. We'll make sure that happens. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. I think everybody's got my email that's on here, so I look forward to that. And if you know of anybody else, we want to make this bigger and better. And I know once we get Ability360 all geared up with marketing, we'll get some more people from that. But I'm actually very happy to see the Lindsays here. You guys have done nonstop smiling, so you get the prize for like smiling the entire time. It's really pretty cool. So
Love you guys. I'm so excited to be able to do all this in person again. Like
Definitely
we've just
been
been
missing it.
dying hanging out with you guys.
So we'll be doing our first in-person activity since March of 19 this weekend up in Flagstaff.
Yes.
So we're really looking forward, to kind of getting out and getting started back up. And, huge kudos to Ability360 for teaming up with us. And we're looking forward to that as well. So I don't know if everybody's heard, but Sarah Lindvay, she's no longer with Daring Adventures. She moved back to Pennsylvania, and she's having, I'm sure, all that Dutch oven cooking now and all that stuff that they eat back there. So I sure do miss her.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And have a great night. And welcome back to Kaisers from
Okay.
Michigan. We'll have to talk sometime about all your travels. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Take
See ya.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sherry.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And Andrew, you're looking smashing. We'll have to catch up as well.
I also have the problem of the COVID, the COVID extra weight, but I'm
It's
blaming that on
crazy.
Daring Adventures and the fact that you guys haven't had anything for so long, because it's what gets me off the couch. Just kidding.
Well, it's like, just today, the longer I sit, the more swollen I become. It's like I have to get up and walk, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's great. It's great, I think, to get things going again and get things started. And we've got, Andrea, we've got a river trip for next year. It was going to be this year. We got a grant for it, but we had to move it just because of COVID. But we'll be doing that next year. And so we have a lot of exciting things that's going to be happening. So it's really pretty cool.
I can't wait. I'm ready. Watching the calendar.
I know. Are you back in school now?
All right. Well, yeah, we're back. What do you mean back in school? Like work
Well, have
school
you started
or
school? Yeah,
other
work
school?
school, work job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a year-round employee, so
Okay.
I've been there.
Well, I'll
It's fine.
email
It's
you
fun.
because I want to catch up
busy.
with you. So I'll do that. Maybe we can do a Zoom meeting or go for coffee or something like that.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd
Okay,
love to reconnect.
Cool.
And it's great to meet you guys, Lindsay and Lori. Sorry, Terry and I just chat. I'm a longtime volunteer and I haven't seen him forever and I'm just
We will keep you going.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right.
Exactly.
Great to see you guys. Have a good
Okay,
night.
Andrea. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, there we have it.
So how many were you expecting? What a cute group. Oh my God, I can't wait to
Well,
meet
I
everybody.
didn't know.
Yeah.
So
I think that was a pretty good size.
I want to say normally we have like 20 participants
Yeah,
and
but it's
20
not normal.
volunteers. But this whole thing, so this is really the first time that we've connected with the volunteers since 19. So I have no
Yeah.
idea
Well, I think
where
ours
they're
has
at.
gone good.
Yeah, if they've moved on. Andrea's been with us really 15 years at least. And then the Lindsays, they came on about 3 years ago. They're diehard volunteers. But it's like, I think we're going to want to send out this message, but I've been waiting for us to be able to announce what's going on so it has some meat to it. I don't want to just trickle feed them. I want them, to get a heartfelt, here's where we're at, this is where we're going.
Yep, I know. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, we want to embrace them into our culture, your culture. And it's going to be so many more opportunities because this your programming and our programming, and it's just going to explode the opportunities for volunteers.
Right. Right. So I think once we, I wanted to get today behind us, and then we can kind of see that. I think, we're doing this event next week up in Flagstaff, and actually we have quite a few people that are doing that, but they're not usually the hikers and so forth. So I'll go through the list of the people that, hiked in person 2 years ago and see who's missing to make sure that, we're connecting with them. But I kind of feel that, our population, they're the ones that are vulnerable and they might be, stepping back. I did have one guy back out of going next week, and he's an avid hiker. He does a Phoenix 4. And I always used to pair him with Andrea because she was the only healthy one that could hike 4 peaks in a day. So it's like, I really don't think we're going to get any people doing the Phoenix 4, which is great for us. Then we don't have to concentrate on 2 different
A lot
hikes.
less
It could be
work.
one. Exactly. But you can see transportation's a challenge. So Sarah Hostetler, uses a wheelchair, and she's come up by the bus to the park and things like that. She doesn't mind doing that, but these other places like Deems, well, she can't get up there, through a bus. So then it's kind of figuring it all out, but we'll do all that together.
Yeah.
All
right. Sounds good. I'm going.
Well, you guys have a good night, and then we'll just, I'm going to be over there this week. Oh, Laura, you won't be there, but
No, I
maybe
won't be
we
there,
can.
but we'll next week.
Yeah, we'll touch base next week and then start
And
setting
I'll
up
keep on
maybe
checking in
a
with
regular
the
meeting.
Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
set up a regular meeting going forward. I'll keep an eye on the Cognito forum and we'll
Okay.
keep going from there.
Okay, so Lindsay, what are you going to be doing while she's gone? Are you taking off?
Yeah, I have off.
Because we were here all weekend, so. Yeah.
Oh, good. So it's true.
It's Saturday and Sunday, so she's had her full. By the time the end of the day tomorrow, she would have had her full 40.
Tomorrow's Friday, I guess, huh?
It is.
Exactly.
Welcome to the nonprofit world.
Exactly. Take it while you can, because you'll never get it for another 40 years. So.
Exactly. Along with a big paycheck. Ain't happening.
Exactly. Exactly. Start saving that money now.
All right.
Okay, Lindsay. Well, so great meeting you guys. I'm glad this is behind us, and it's going to be fun. So we'll have to think of what that theme is so we can be crazy on the trails.
Yeah, perfect. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay, bye you guys. See ya.